there was a message that you actually sent me on Instagram that had a Instagram reel attached to it. And I watched through it, and it was a video of the YouTube creator Sprometheus. And actually, I had watched Sprometheus a little bit during, I think, the pandemic, towards the tail end of the pandemic, because I was getting into coffee, and that was kind of his niche at the time. He was kind of the guy who was like very out there, blunt, opinionated about things, a little gruff in the way that he approached things. So he had like a strong branded personality as well. And he had hundreds and hundreds of videos. He had a podcast, and he uploaded this video just in the last week or so that you sent me. And it was something that he said that he was basically ending the show. He wasn't going to post to YouTube anymore because he had burned out. So I texted you. I said, you sent this to me on Instagram, but I'm going to reply here because I think that these types of announcements would be a great thing to cover on the show. In your message, you had mentioned one word, and I assume the word you mean is burnout, or an angle on burnout.
I asked you, there's one word that's really important for creators to hear from this guy's message, and you guessed the word
at burnout, and then you said nope, but I'll tell you the word on the show. So neutrally, can we play the clip, and Benji will highlight the word for us.
After nearly 8 years, 500 plus videos, roughly 250,000 followers, and 70 million views across multiple platforms, I am taking an indefinite hiatus from Sprometheus. Now, to a lot of my viewers, this may seem rather abrupt, but actually I've been considering this departure for some time now. And over the last couple of years, I have tried to do some certain things to try to mitigate this, like posting less often, changing the types of content I've been doing. But really, all of that has sort of just delayed the inevitable. So, of course, burnout, like many YouTubers before me, and of course, many YouTubers after me, is the key factor. But it's built on multiple different pillars. And I think the ones that stand out the most is social media algorithms, general influencer culture, and also just the culture at large, which has made this process of making videos and doing what I do just a lot less fun. And in a lot of cases, at least from my personal perspective, the coffee content I've been seeing on my timeline lately has felt uninspired. Copy and paste. And
do you know what the word is now?
I have a guess. Should I go for it?
Yeah.
Fun.
100%. Well, it's interesting because the word you brought up was burnout. Mm-hmm. Creator burnout almost always is a result of lack of fun. Now, there's different reasons, right? You could have some family turmoil, some personal challenges, maybe finances are tight, maybe you're not getting as many views, your performance is going down, algorithm changes, maybe even just like the relevance of your content, tons, okay? But then the question is, how do people like my wife sustain almost 20 years of being a creator? And you even said earlier today, it's still amazing that she edits all her own videos. Yeah. Most creators, and entrepreneurs that are creators, but also, building a business will scale up. And that's one of the first things they delegate, including myself, right? I don't edit my content. I have an editor. But why is it that someone like Judy can sustain what she's doing? It's because she's genuinely having fun. She's creating content around the things that I say crank her wheel, the things that she's interested in. And so it's interesting. This guy, he said different things, and he also doesn't like, this is something I disagree with. He's like, disagrees with the type of content that's out there. He doesn't want to play to that. Well, what he's telling me is he doesn't want to play that game, which is fine, but it can't be a complaint of why you're burnt out and you're quitting, right? Because guess what? There's different games you can play. The thing is, when you have fun doing something, you'll do it forever, even if you don't get paid. Now, it's not a way to make a living and pay for the bills and, support your family. But it is so important for sustainability. And the reason I wanted to talk about this for creators, is for anybody, is because I find the ones that have continued to do this will also get through the hard times, overcome the challenges, the ups and downs of an algorithm, or even just shifts in the industry, financial or your genre is not as relevant. Your performance going down is when you're having fun. Those people that have fun. And the number one reason why most creators that quit because they're burnt out is because there is lack of fun. I've never attributed the success of a creator across the board or lack of success to just one word. And it's so cheesy. The reason I came up with this idea, when I say came up with this idea, it's not like groundbreaking. It's not like I own
But
this.
it stood out to you.
Yeah, what stood out to me was whenever I'm helping creators start a new channel, how many creators, when they're starting, would ask me, what should I film content around? It's like, well, first off, I would think you would already know. Why would I tell you what to film content around? And then, of course, I get into it. They're like, oh, well, but I want to do so many different things. I'm like, okay, cool. Then, I would just say it so casual. Like, what do you have fun doing? What is it that you look forward to doing on the weekend? So what are you talking about? Yeah, like what is it that you would do for free forever, even if you didn't get paid? They're like, oh, I never thought of it that way. See, most people, when they start a YouTube channel, they're thinking financially. They're thinking success, a business. They're thinking doing this full time. All valid. But it might not sustain you through those hard times. Versus someone like my wife and so many of those early day creators. You know who else I think is kind of like this in a way is Philip DeFranco, even though he has experienced some burnout. I actually believe he loves what he does. He genuinely loves it, right? Because he's been around now for 20 years. And as creators become successful and make a lot of money and live their dream life, other people want to do that too. So they do the things to replicate that, but it's not necessarily down the path that is most fun for them. Now, ironically, guess where you actually do this is with vlogging, right?
Yeah.
What makes vlogging kind of interesting is that you get to vlog your life. You already get to create and document content around what it is that you do in your life, and you get paid to do it. And that's why I say it's like, it is fun to do it, like vlogging your life and getting paid to do it, versus the people that all burn out. They're doing it probably for the wrong reasons. When I say wrong reasons, at certain times, they were the right reasons because it made you famous, it made you successful, made you money. But then when none of those were happening, then there was no incentive to do it. But if you start with an emphasis on what is fun, what would you still want to do in 10 years from now, you can have a lot more sustainability. I'm not saying the money part shouldn't be part of the equation. I'm just saying it should be a lesser than what it is for the normal creator out there. And when he said it, I'm sure I think that's what he was saying. Like, I'm not having as much fun anymore.
Totally.
And guess what? When I'm coaching creators that are on the brink of burnout, I say, go do something fun. Like literally, even if it's not your niche, like create content around that. Almost always when they're closest to burnout, they're also the farthest away from what they started doing that they loved. It just became something. You say something I think that's really important. Creators fall back into entrepreneurship. They never wanted to have a business. They never wanted to manage a team and all those kind of things. So fun, it is way undervalued in terms of being a creator. And guess what? You now have to have fun doing this because it's harder than ever in certain ways because of the algorithm, because of AI, because there's so much competition. But if you find the thing that you have fun doing and you can document that on camera, you can do literally like 2-3 hour live streams. I did a live stream today of like cooking. And the only thing that stopped me from doing 2 or 3 hours, because Nugely, who's running this show right now, knows for a fact I would go 3, 4, 6 hours with them and do it, was the fact that I was doing this podcast. But if I'm thinking, hey, how do I really blow up? I'm just doing the thing I'm having. Don't get me wrong. I actually have fun doing this.
Yeah.
I mean, what's crazy is I think there's maybe like 5 to 10 people watching this at any given time. Why can I do this? Because it's fun for me, even having one person come on here, leave a comment, or DM me afterwards or call me and say, dude, that thing that you said, that was exactly what I need to hear. And I love that. And that's why I can kind of do it forever. So takeaway is this guy is quitting for different reasons. but he said something that I think even him in his mind, he didn't understand the significance of it. And I'm looking at it from perspective of not just him, but literally hundreds of creators I've either talked to or observed that have burnt out. And it's almost always the result of lack of fun. And the ones that are most successful that have been around, they always find the fun in the grind, in the challenges, in the whole process of being a creator, which isn't always easy. And if you have enough fun, guess what? You wake up excited the next day to do it, even if it's kind of like a shitty experience.
If you want to find the most fun way to make content, you should check out vloggingacademy.com, where you can learn more about the new vlogging method and the biggest opportunity in the history of YouTube. Thanks to our students of Vlogging Academy who help make this show possible. Happy holidays to everybody, and we'll see you next week.